Welcome again to another video of Runtime Stories. Today I will introduce you to data types and variables. What are data types and variables? A data type is a definition that we assign to a variable. Since Java is a statically typed language, we have to assign data types to each variable. Now what is a variable? A variable is just an address where a data can be stored. Here I have created main.java file, and we will first start by creating a class. Let's create a public class. Since we are using only one class and our main method also contains this class name must match our file name, which is main. As you have seen in the last videos, let's open a simple main method by writing public static void main. First, we have to define our data type. There are many data types in Java. They can be classified into primitive and reference data types. While primitive data types hold the value directly into the memory, reference data types store the objects into the memory. So how to declare a variable? To declare a variable, first we have to write its data type. One data type is short. After writing data type, we have to write the variable name itself. Variable name has certain conventions in Java. For example, we are not allowed to use prevailing numbers. For example, we cannot write like this. This is invalid. Another convention is that we cannot use hyphens. Let's say like this. This is also invalid. But we can use trailing numbers. We can initialize a variable in Java during declaration or after declaration. During declaration, we can just put an equal to symbol and store the value what we wanted. For example, we can store 4. This is how we initialize and declare a variable in Java. How to initialize a variable after it is declared? First, let's declare a variable, put a semicolon, and somewhere around this code, we can put variable name equal to symbol and write the content which we have to store. I'm waiting for. In the previous episode, we saw how to print some text into the console, right? If it writes some text inside this double quotes, it will be printed into the console. Let's say we have to print the content inside the variable num1. How to do that? Let's write some random text like num1 is this. And is that enough? No, because we have not specified num1 here, right? How to specify here? After we write our text, we can put a plus symbol. Then we can write the name of the variable directly. We can write num1. What it will do is that it will write num1 is and the value of num1. It will not print plus. Let's compile and run the code. So it is printing num1 is 4. Short has a range between minus 32,768 to positive 32,767. The largest value we can store in short is 32,767. This will definitely work. See, it is printing. But what if we write a value that is higher than the range of short itself? Let's say we can write 32,800. Let's see what will happen. See, it is throwing an error. Incompatible data types. To store values higher than 32,767 or values lower than negative 32,768, we can use another data type called int. Let's take another variable name. Let's say num2. And we can initialize the variable during declaration itself. For this, let's take a value that is outside of short and inside int. Such value will be like higher than 32,767. Example 32,800. We can also use shorter values. It is not necessary to store something that's outside the short. Let's say we can also write 10 here. It will definitely work fine. For this example, let's take a larger value, like 65,789. To print this value in the console, let's change this to num2. Let me change this as well. See, it is printing it. Another commonly used data type is boolean. Boolean can store only two values or 1-bit values, for example true or false. We can store true, for example. Let's print that. Bool is true. Another value we can store in boolean is false. Bool is false. We cannot store values like integer, like 65 or 4 or 10 or something like that inside bool. Bool is only used to store true or false values. Another primitive data type we can use is char. Char is used to store characters, specifically Unicode characters. Let's store the value s, but we cannot store it simply like this. We have to put a single quotes before and after the variable value. Let me make this generic. It is printing the value of char1, that is s. Char cannot store strings like sa. It can only store single values like s. We have discussed about integer values, right? We can store using short or int. Int support very long ranges, but what if we want more? What if we want to store an extremely large number? For that, there's another data type called long. Let's name this variable long1. Let's write a very large value. This is a pretty big number. But by default, our Java compiler will still treat this value as an integer. I will write long1 here and compile it. It will give us an error. The number is too large. So how to inform Java compiler that we are actually writing a long value? After our value, we have to write a capital L. Now the Java compiler knows that this is actually a long value. Let's run it. So it is printing fine. The data types we have discussed till now have some major limitations. All can store negative values, all can store integer, and char can even store alphabets. But none of them can store decimal values. What if you want to store 3.14 or any other decimal value? For that, there are other data types. Those also comes under primitive data types. One such example is float. Let's name this float1. Let's store the value 3.14. Even here, Java will confuse it for integer. So how to inform the compiler that this is actually a floating point value? Let's put an f. Small f or capital F. Both will work. Now we are essentially telling that this is actually a float value, so there's no problem in storing decimal values. Let's print this. So it is printing the value of pi correctly. Similar to int, float also uses 4 bytes of memory. But since it is split into two parts, one before and after decimal point, the ideal value we can store is even more limited. What if you want to store an extremely long floating point value? For that, there is double. Let's name this maybe dub1. I have copied this value of pi from somewhere online. And to let the Java compiler know that this is a double, we can put a D or capital D. Both will work. And put a semicolon. Let's print this. So now it is printing the approximate value of pi. There is also one more primitive data type called byte, but we almost always never use that. Now let us learn about reference data types. Reference data types include string, array, class, interface, but all these requires their own separate episodes. So here let's discuss about only one, that is string. Let's give this variable a name, maybe s1. String is just a collection of characters. So instead of one character, we can store multiple characters. To initialize a string, we have to write double quotes. Inside this, we can write the content of the string. Let's try Java. And now let's print the value of string. Just we can put S1 here. So it is now printing Java. These are some essential data types we have discussed in this video. If you have any doubts regarding this, you can comment below. Today I am also giving you an assignment. This is the assignment for today. You have to print the following in the console. While printing, make sure that James is replaced by a variable and that variable stores your name. Also make sure that this 2026 is also replaced by a variable that stores the current year. Comment your full programs below and I will write them. Thanks for watching.